Game theory is in action in the markets right now, and you're playing the game, whether you know it or not. But if you're not knowingly playing the game, you're probably losing money. In this video, I'm gonna explain the game that's being played, the money that's being made, and what you need to do to make sure you get in the game and win the game before it's too late. So stay tuned. All right, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, my name is Mark Moss. I do these videos because I believe the only security we have in life is for us to be able to take responsibility for ourselves because the system's broken. No one is coming to save you. That's why we have to learn to make money, grow our money, protect our money on our own. And so if you agree with these types of topics, you want to hear more about these types of topics, click the like button so more people hear about it. Of course, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you're notified every time I put new videos out. Now, real quick, before I jump into this whole game theory that you need to know about, you know that I make these videos trying to give back, trying to help out as much as I can. And I worked out a special deal just for you. I get offered money to promote products all the time. And I said, you know what, instead of giving me money, let's give it back to the viewers. And so I got Swan Bitcoin to give away $1,000 of Bitcoin. And I'm also going to be giving away some hardware wallets so you can safely store it, secure it, protect it, etc. Now, I'm going to run this for a couple of weeks. You'll see it on a few videos. And then I'm going to announce the winners. That's right, winners. So if you want to win some Bitcoin, you want to win some hardware wallets, just look at the link in the description for the full details on how you can win. All right. I didn't take the money, I'm giving it back to you because that's what I'm here for. All right, now jumping right back into this, talking about this game theory in the market. Game theory provides tools for analyzing situations and different parties like the players, they make decisions that are dependent but kind of interdependent. They're dependent on what other people are doing. And so it's this interdependence that causes each player to consider what the other player's possible decisions or strategies are going to be. So when you're trying to formulate your own strategy, you have to try to guess or think what the other player is doing. All right, that's what game theory is. Now, it's used to play games, obviously. However, its applications are much broader than just playing games. In fact, game theory was originally developed by the Hungarian-born American mathematician John von Neumann. And he was also with his Princeton University colleague Oskar Morgenstern. Now, he was a German-born American economist, and they observed that economics is much like a game. Of course it is, right? Economics is much like a game. And it's much like a game where the players anticipate each other's moves. And therefore, it requires a new kind of mathematics, all right, which they called game theory. Now, it's been used, for example, to determine like what political coalitions or what they're going to do or what business conglomerates are likely to form. It's also used to find the optimal price, which we can sell our products, our services, our goods, or our investments as well. So for us as investors and for our investments, you know, we have game theory. We want to get in before everybody else comes in and buys the price up, right? We want to get out before everybody else starts to sell. That's the game theory. We're making a decision based off of what we think other people are going to make the decision. And we're trying to get in front of them before they make their decision to buy or before they make their decision to sell. Now, currently, we're at the very beginning of a brand new trend that it's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. And basically, this brand new trend is where businesses and investors are starting to play this new version of game theory. And we've never seen it before. Now, it's already having massive implications for this playing out. And, you know, just like the game, I mean, we're trying to figure out how is this going to affect everyone else in the game? You, me. What are we going to do? How are we going to play the game now that we're doing this, right? And when we look at what the results have been so far, then you can see if you want to play the game. Now, do you want to play the game before everybody pushes the price up too high for you? Now, there's a few different games at play right here. And if you're not already playing, then you're probably already behind. You're probably already losing. But don't worry, it's not too late to start. You can get going and you can get caught up. So the first game is who is going to get out of the dollar, all right? The dollar's losing value fast. I've been talking about it on this channel for almost 2 years now. The dollar is losing fast. When I say it's losing value, I'm thinking about its purchasing power. So a US dollar buys less today than it did 60 days ago. It buys less than it did 5 years ago. It buys less than it did 20 years ago, and so on and so on and so on, 100 years, right? So it buys less and less. Now that's the first game. The second game is, where are we going to get into? So think of it like if you're on the Titanic and it's sinking. You're on a ship that's sinking. There's lifeboats that you can go jump onto, but there's not enough lifeboats for everybody, all right? That's kind of what we're thinking about. So the dollar is going down. Where is everybody going? Now, on the last video, we talked about how Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway is jumping into gold. They're bailing the dollar, they're going into gold. I talked about that. Now, of course, the dollar is down year to date in 2020 from January 1 till now is down about 5%. In that same time frame, gold is up 31%. And gold miners, which Buffett bought a gold miner, is up 50%. So he bought a company that's up 50% while his dollars are down 5%. Not a bad move, not a bad lifeboat to get into, all right? But the other game that's even more interesting to me, and this game is being led by businesses, not investors, all right? Well, businesses and investors, whoever you want to call it, but really being led by businesses. Now, what this game is on August 11th, a publicly traded company, a NASDAQ-listed company. They're a business intelligence company. It's called MicroStrategy. Their symbol is MSTR. And they made huge news, massive news. They're a public company, so the announcement was really big. They announced that they're sitting on about $500 million in cash, $500 million in cash, but they're playing the game, and they're playing the game before you are. And they realized that they didn't want to hold all their reserves in dollars. They didn't like holding $500 million in dollars in cash because, well, it's losing value, and they're also losing confidence in it. And that's the biggest thing. The dollar is not supported by the military. The dollar is supported by people having trust in it. But once confidence starts being lost, the game is over. And that's what we're talking about here. So they didn't have any more confidence. They see the value of the dollar going down. They're losing their confidence of the dollar. So they announced that what they were going to do is they're going to take the 500 million, divide it in half, take 250 million and use it for stock buybacks, to buy back their stock, which is basically returning the capital back to the shareholders. So if you're a shareholder for the company, that's a good thing. With the other 250 million though, this is where it gets interesting. They said instead of holding it in dollars, they're going to put it all into Bitcoin. That's 21,454 Bitcoins to be exact, as part of their new capital allocation strategy. Now, this is their new capital allocation where they're going to allocate their capital, and they're doing this to protect their own company from inflation. Inflation that makes things more expensive and loses the purchasing power of the dollar. Now, in a statement from MicroStrategy, they said that they foresee more fiscal stimulus. Of course, I've been saying that over and over. They foresee more fiscal stimulus from the Federal Reserve. They see low interest rate environment for a long time in the future. Of course, that's what the Federal Reserve tells us. They also said that they expect a negative real return or a negative real yield on US dollars, which of course we're seeing. Now, of course, they know the US dollar has lost 5% on the year. In the same period, we talked about gold was up about 30%, miners were up 40%. In the same period, Bitcoin is up 73%, more than double what gold has done. Now, Michael Saylor, the MicroStrategy CEO, said, quote, "It would not be prudent to continue to hold a large portion of US dollars as our treasury strategy," end quote. Wow, that's pretty powerful. It wouldn't be prudent to hold our money in dollars. That's what he's saying. He also argued that the hope for large dollar reserves to eventually have a positive yield has faded away, that gold, silver, and Bitcoin are showing strength. He's like, I don't see a point to hold dollars anymore. The positive yield is gone. I'd rather hold gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Now, Saylor also said it seeks maximum long-term value for the company's shareholders through Bitcoin, which he described as the most widely adopted cryptocurrency, which of course it is. It dominates the market. I'm not sure where it's at today, 60, 70%, I'm sure. And so it's, of course, the most dominant cryptocurrency, the most widely adopted cryptocurrency. He said it's a dependable store of value and an attractive investment. He also said that Bitcoin has the potential to appreciate more than holding cash. Of course, cash went down 5%, Bitcoin went up 73%. So Bitcoin is now the company's principal holding in its treasury reserve strategy. So instead of holding cash, it's holding Bitcoin. And guess what? Now, while you might have your own thoughts and feelings about this move, you might be thinking in your head, you might be typing in the comments like, this guy's an idiot, what an idiot, Bitcoin's going to zero, and on and on and on. You might be thinking that. However, the market has spoken. I mean, the market, the millions of people in the market, publicly traded, the market's spoken. And guess what the market said? The market absolutely loves this. Let's take a look at what that means. So basically, when the news came out, the stock price jumped from $123 a share to $143 a share. So that's about a $20 jump. Now, based off of the amount of stock that they have available, that basically pushed the company valuation up about $200 million just on the news. So they announced they're buying it, and boom, their company's worth $200 million more. So basically, that's giving them back the amount of money they just put into Bitcoin. See what we're talking about here? So this is where game theory starts kicking in. So now other public companies just watch this. They watched all this unfold, and they're like, if they put in $200 million into Bitcoin, and then the company valuation jumped $200 million, that's basically like free money. So as a CEO, I'm thinking, shoot, if I can get my stock to jump $200 million, then I'm going to get a huge bonus. Maybe I should divert some of my balance sheet to Bitcoin, right? If I'm going to get a huge bonus, why wouldn't I? And this is where the game theory part really starts kicking in. The first few companies that do this, they're going to be rewarded the most, right? Obviously, I'm making a video on this company right here. It's made a lot of news. The stock price went up. Each one will, okay, we've heard that one. Eventually, every company's going to have their money in Bitcoin, and it's not going to be a big deal. So it's game theory. Who's going to jump in first and reap the biggest reward, and who's going to wait? Because the effects are just going to slow down as more and more people jumping in. The market just won't reward people for doing this anymore. Now, there's also a small Canadian company that's also making huge headlines for doing the exact same thing. Now, this is a relatively small and unknown company. They're not a publicly traded company at all. They're called Tahinis Restaurants, and they announced that they were converting all their cash reserves over into Bitcoin as well. Now, like I said, they're a private company, so there's no public stock, and so we can't really see if that pushed the price of the company up because they're not publicly traded. We don't know that. But their publicity is off the charts. I mean, look, I'm even making a video about them, right? Just a small little company. And that's exactly what we're talking about. So it's super fun for me to watch this game theory playing out in real time. Who's going to get out of the dollar first? And then where are they going to go? Are they going to go into gold like Warren Buffett? Are they going to go into Bitcoin like MicroStrategy? Or are they going to go into both, kind of like what I do? You don't have to choose one or the other. You can do both. Now, hopefully you like that. Before I go, I just want to let you know that I'm trying to help you out, right? I have $1,000 of Bitcoin sponsored by Swan that we're giving away. I'm giving away hardware wallets so you can make sure to safely store it, secure it, etc. Multiple winners. Go down to the description, click on the link so you can see the full details on how you can win. Make sure to go check that out. And then, of course, let me know what you think. Are you in the game? Are you playing the game? Are you playing the game to win? Are you moving out of dollars and into something else before the crowd gets there? Before the dollars drop too fast? Are you getting into something before the crowd pushes it up too high? Or are you playing the game to win? Or are you just going to wait until the music stops and there's no more chairs left, until there's no more lifeboats left, right? Leave me a comment and let me know. Are you playing the game to win, or are you waiting until the music stops? Let me know in the comments, and then give me a thumbs up on this video if you like it. If you don't like the video, that's okay. Give me a thumbs down. But always let me know. I always love to hear from each one of you. And that's what I got for you today. To your success. I'm out.